welcome back to my YouTube channel, my studio. In our last lesson we talked about refraction. We did an introduction to refraction, what refraction is. And in today's lesson we are going to conduct an investigation. What sort of investigation is it? We are going to investigate refraction of light. Then you would ask me, how can we conduct an investigation of refraction of light in a studio like this? No, don't worry. It's okay, it's very easy. For that I have something special. This is glass slab. What are we going to do? We are going to send a beam of light into this. And then we are going to see what happens to that beam of light when going through this. Whether it bends or how it bends. And especially what we want to do is to find whether there is a pattern of bending when we send light into the block of glass at different angles. Does it bend in the same way or it becomes different? So to investigate this, shall we cross over to the laboratory? I put a block of glass on a white piece of paper. I mark the boundaries or margins. This makes measuring my angles easy. The angles at which the light strikes the glass block is decided. The normal is marked. The normal is a variable reference line. The angle that light strikes the interface is decided for convenience as 45 degrees. The laser beam is sent along the path. Glass block is placed on the marked boundaries. The emergent ray is marked. The path of light is completed, drawing the path inside the glass block. Normal for the second surface is marked. All the angles are marked. Lateral displacement is observed. This makes the refraction evident. So, I think now you have a very good idea about refraction of light. Especially what happens to a beam of light or ray of light when it enters a glass block like this. You have a very good idea because you did an investigation. So you have a very good idea, as I have told you. But having a good idea is not quite sufficient in science. Why? You should be able to describe what you have learned. To describe science, you should have scientific terms. Scientific jargons, technical terms. Shall we go to an animation to see what these technical terms are? Shall we? What you can see is the glass block that he used in this investigation. and you can see a beam of light or ray of light strikes the glass surface. This is what we call interface. Why do we call this interface? Interface is face is a surface, inter means between two optical media there is a surface, so we call this interface. So you can see light touches interface and then light passes through glass. One thing that you observe is when light passing through glass, it travels in straight lines. So we happen to think that when light passes through a single medium, always it passes in straight lines, travels in straight lines. That is not so. There are exceptions. We are going to learn it later. So even in one particular medium, when light travels, there are times that it bends. Okay, shall we? And that ray is emergent ray. We call it emergent ray. Why? Emergent means coming out. Yeah, emergent ray. And this is incident ray. Oh, we call it ray of incident. That is not a new thing to you. You have learned that even in reflection. Yeah. But the definition, incident ray, a ray of light that strikes another optical medium. A ray of light that strikes another optical medium. A ray of light that strikes another optical medium in refraction. In refraction, you need another optical medium, not in reflection. So therefore, the definition for incident ray is a ray of light that strikes another optical medium. Then normally is really a normal thing to you because you learned it in reflection even. Normally is perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence. Perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence. You know that. Angle of incidence. Angle of incidence. In reflection you learned about angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is the incident ray, the angle between the incident ray and the normal. It is the same here. Angle of incidence, the angle that incident ray makes with the normal at the point of incidence. Angle that incident ray forms makes with the normal at the point of incidence. This is the point of incidence, you know that. And in the similar manner, we can talk about angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. Angle of refraction. The angle that the refracted ray makes with the normal. This is the normal, this is refracted ray. So that is angle of refraction. The angle that the refracted ray makes with the normal at the point of incidence. Now you can see all the rays. Incident ray and point of incidence. Incident ray, point of incidence. And then angle of refraction, angle of incidence, and ray passing through the glass, and emergent ray. Emergent ray, what is emergent ray? Emergent ray is the ray that comes out of a refracting medium. This is a refracting medium. So a ray goes into and comes out of refracting medium. So just think about this. The ray goes into this refracting medium, but it is not emergent ray. But the ray should come out of the transparent medium, that is optical medium, and then we call it emergent ray. So therefore, emergent ray is the ray that comes out of refracting medium. One very important thing concept that we can have here is, you can notice incident ray and emergent ray run parallel. Why is that? Incident ray and emergent ray run parallel. Why is that? Do you think that it happens always? No. There is a reason why this happens. There are a few factors affecting this, especially when you think about this glass block. you can see these surfaces are parallel, interfaces are parallel. So therefore, you saw that in investigation. So therefore, the bending occurs in the same style. So therefore, they run parallel. But when you think about a prism, you know what prism is? Prisms have non-parallel interfaces, not parallel, just like this, just like a pyramid. So therefore, you cannot expect parallel sort of ray of incidence and emergent rays. These are the technical terms or technical jargons that we have learned from this idea of refraction. Yes, today we learned about the technical terms going with refraction, and at the same time we did an investigation to see how refraction operates. But one question remains unanswered. We didn't answer the question why light bends. We talked about how light bends and what refraction is, but why light bends, that's the question, the most important question. And it comes in next video with laws of refraction. That's for today's lesson. Bye.